There's only one energy that gives rise to every formation of energy that you can think of. So every piece of matter, every thought, every sound, every sight, every smell, every touch, everything that you can experience is a manifestation of the same energy. So what about you? Of course, you know the answer. You are as well a manifestation of that same energy. So what makes you so special? Well, you are very special. Because what happens with this universal consciousness in a human body, so like in your body, it goes into a brain, it goes into the complexity of what we call a human organism. And it has a very specific, very unique individual vibration, and the whole thing becomes unique. Your body, your mind, and your energy, your vibration, your spirit is unique. This universal energy manifests as all the different forms experiential. Every single form on this planet and beyond is a manifestation of the same energy. And that energy is also what you are. Your essential self. When you identify, when you say I am, I know, I see, I smell, I touch, you, the one who experiences, the one who knows, the one who is watching this screen, is that energy. It is universal energy manifesting as that unique being which you call yourself. You have a sense of self, an ahamkara, a ego, a identification with body and mind. That's okay. It really is. It really is okay. It's normal. Of course, it's not truly who you are. It's just a game that you play. It's something that you see rather than what you are. Your sense of self is something that you treasure. It's something that is important to you, and that's normal. There's no problem there. Of course, it is not truly who you are. It is not completely who you are. You are so much more than that. But a part of you, a part that comes with the body and the mind, is the sense of self, the ahamkara. It's normal to have a sense of self, to have an ego. But we need to see through this ego, because of course it is not actually real. We need to look beyond it to know what we truly are. And how do we do that? We do that in a different way than what we're used to. We're used to looking at things outside of ourselves, to looking at forms, at objects, and at everything experiential, really. But to see ourselves underneath the ego, underneath the sense of self, the separate sense of self, or the sense of self that identifies with the body and the mind, to see through that, we need a different modus operandi, a different approach than what we're used to. We don't look at that, we don't look at our true self like we would look at an object outside of ourselves. This is the difficulty, you see. How can you experience something? By the way, it's not really a difficulty, but it's just a different approach. How can you see something that is not outside of yourself? Because you are looking at things, right? So everything that you look at is outside of yourself. So how can you truly look at yourself when you're used to always looking outside of yourself? Well, it requires a different approach. The approach of doing this is a non-approach. What the hell does that mean, right? Well, it means that you don't do anything. You do the opposite of doing something, which is doing nothing. How do you do that? I'm not going to make it too complex here, too complicated. But you step by step do less and less. So you become aware of what you are always doing. Because in our daily lives, we are always doing something. If not anything else, then we are always doing something with our mind. We are always thinking, we're always imagining something. So non-doing means that we become aware of what we are actually doing, because usually we're not even aware of that. So we become aware of what we are doing in the mind. And then one step at a time, we let go of everything that we're doing until we are doing absolutely nothing. And when we're doing absolutely nothing, what will be there? What will be there? You will be there, of course. When you are not doing anything, then your whole energy has nothing else to do than see itself. Because of course, when you're not doing anything, that doesn't mean that you're not there. You are there to see everything because you're not doing anything. Maybe for the first time in your life, you are not occupied with anything. And therefore, you can see everything. So you can see yourself. And now you can see yourself unmanifested as nothing or as everything. Nothing and everything is exactly the same. Because the both of them have no opposite. You will see yourself as energy, aware, conscious, awake. Just energy. Unmanifest. Expressing itself through a body-mind whenever it's needed. And often it's needed. But whenever you don't want it, whenever you want to go into true experience, because it's what you are, it's your own nature, then you don't do anything with body and mind. You're just aware. And you let the beauty of the world come to you, become apparent to you. It's easy as pie. Your essential nature is universal energy. It's the all that is, manifested as a human body, a human being. You can become aware of that by the approach of non-doing, the opposite of what you're used to, the turning back, the not doing, the becoming aware of what is, the becoming aware of the automatic doing. This is meditation, if you want to call it that. It's just to trace yourself back and to see what is, to see the truth of what is, to see the truth of yourself. It is totally within your reach. Take it one little baby step at a time if you need to. Go on your own pace. Trace yourself back into the universal nature of yourself. There is no other energy than you yourself. And in every moment you are reborn. But of course we create a continuity. That's part of our human makeup. Perfectly fine. Of course. How otherwise could we experience this beautiful human world if we would not create a continuation and the sense of self and the mind and the body? But of course you can become aware of yourself beyond that and transcend your mere humanness. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for this video. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.